Juneteenth is very special. I mean, we certainly understand that it, acknowledges the time in which slaves in Galveston, Texas learned in 1865 that they were free. and they had been freed for 2 years, and they were still working and slaving in the fields of Texas. It's a special moment for us to pause and to reflect on how powerful that experience in American history, a very bad experience, the original sin, I think shapes America today, and that we continue to, I think, deal with a lot of the challenges that come from the vestiges of slavery, and that we must never, ever forget. You know, I was a child going to Juneteenth. I didn't understand what it meant, and I think it was a missed opportunity for our parents and other adults to explain to us what Juneteenth was and what it meant. And now that we're adults, I think, and that is a national holiday, it's a holiday in the state of Colorado and the city of Denver, we have an opportunity and a responsibility to make sure that young people who walk the streets of Welton Street, no matter what race or color or creed, to celebrate Juneteenth, know exactly why this moment is being honored for all of us to celebrate. A couple of years ago, Councilman Hearn and I talked, and we agreed that Juneteenth should be observed. And so we worked together to write an ordinance to have it as a Memorial Day for the city of Denver. Once the federal government passed the national holiday and the state passed it, there was no question in our mind that we were going to observe that holiday in Denver and that it would be a paid holiday off for city employees. I hope city employees use that time to do a day of service or a day that educates a young person and themselves, quite frankly, on the historical power of this holiday and what it should mean to all of us. You can look around this nation today, whether it's the state capitol, the White House, or even here in Colorado, where we have places that are built during the slave days, and you see the vestiges and the handiwork of slaves, the free labor that built such beautiful buildings today that we walk in and out of for justice and for freedom. And you cannot and should not allow the power of those monuments to remain without acknowledging the people who slaved and built those monuments, and understand that this was a terrible time in American history, but it also resulted in some of the most creative and innovative moments in our nation's history in terms of tools that were created, in terms of architecture. There were no blueprints. This is what we did. They did on the fly to build this stuff. Tremendous talent. And a lot of what we do today, enjoy today, a lot of the wealth that's generated today, slaves generated that through their free labor. And we can't forget that. This is a time to celebrate them and to acknowledge them and acknowledge that America is the America that is today because of what such resilience and courage and really love overpowering hate and dehumanizing treatment overcame all that. And the power of that, I think, is a special time for us to pause and to give thanks, but also to acknowledge those beautiful human beings.